Meet my new wife. This is Tatiana.
My new husband. Woo, holiday husband.
Hello from French Polynesia. In this video, I am taking you to the world famous Bora Bora and its two lesser known neighbors, Taha'a and Raiatea. And I will tell you why you need to skip Bora Bora and head to these islands instead. Let's get started. This is the Bora Bora we all know. Beautiful, lush, green with a million different shades of blue all around. But that's not how it worked out for me. I took a ferry from Tahiti, which took about 4.5 hours. It was quite a rough ride, and that should have given me a little bit of an indication of what's about to come. This was the reality for the next day and a half. It rained cats and dogs non-stop. And while it's raining, there's not much to do, so I was stuck inside. On the second evening, the rain finally stopped and I went out cycling and look at these gorgeous views. By the way, did you know Bora Bora is the only major island in French Polynesia that does not have a running water system, a river, a stream, anything like that? This mountain covered in clouds, this was my first sign that I am in Bora Bora and it is beautiful here. To make things better, I got the most beautiful sunset I had in the whole 4 weeks that I spent in French Polynesia. Look at those beautiful colors. I am super excited because it looks like I'm gonna have the colors of Bora Bora that I came here for. Sadly, that did not happen next day either. Today is the day of the big tour. So we took a boat in the morning. There were quite a lot of people. We sang and we danced pretty much all the way to our first stop, which was for snorkeling. Now the coral is mostly pretty dead and the fish hang around only because they're fed. We also went to the sandbank for the sharks and the rays, which were a little bit shy here, barely got to see 2 or 3 of them. And when we got to the manta point, there were no mantas, but we did get some amazing stuff, and the first one were the eagle rays. Now I've never seen 40-50 odd eagle rays in one place, and even though the visibility was not great, this was a really nice surprise. It got even better at the next stop because we got to swim with lemon sharks. It was my first time and I didn't know they actually get so big. They were really adorable and even their eyes are yellow. Jumping in and out of the water was not the only thing we did. The last part was a cultural show. There was a little bit of singing and dancing and they showed us how they, turn a simple cloth into so many different wearing styles. It was a fun day even though there were too many people. But the real magic happened on my last day. I got here day before yesterday and it rained pretty much ever since. Like all the clouds, and I was completely scared that I was gonna miss all of this. But luckily the sun has come out. I've rented a scooter with my mate from my accommodation, Carlo, and we are going around. Let's get exploring. I met Carlo who's staying at the same place and we rented a bike to go around the island. Look at all these different shades of blue. I mean, we went to the cannon stop first, but the reason to go see was not cannons. It was actually to see all these amazing shades of blue. Needless to say, this was my favorite day on Bora Bora. We also walked into some practice that was happening for some event, and that was mind-blowing. It was actually the most authentic experience that we had. That was a nice surprise, and I am heading to a jet ski tour next, something I've never done before. Actually, I've always been really scared. What if it just slips from underneath me? But Carlo is a really good driver. I mean, he does motorbikes like racing ones. So I totally trusted him and it went amazing. Are you ready, Carlo?
Ready.
Yes, let's do it. Even though it was a little bit unsettling at first, the same sensation when you ride a horse. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. This is not AI generated. Yes, this is a real place and you could totally see it for yourself. Well, I finally got to see the famous Bora Bora view. You do need to come to a motu for this. Motus are these small islands that are ringed around the main island. Carlo the dog man, you know, all the beach dogs love him. I've been trying to get them near me and they refuse to come. Oh my god. The tour ended at Matera Beach, where I need to introduce you to my wife that I married just yesterday. Meet my new wife, this is Tatiana.
My new husband! Woo, holiday husband!
Yeah, oh look! It was my last evening and I went to this traditional show which absolutely made me happy despite being a little sad that I'm leaving Bora Bora. Well, now you might be thinking, why is this guy saying we should skip it if it is so beautiful? Well, stay with me and you will find out. We are heading next to the Vanilla Island. This is Taha'a. Welcome to Taha'a, the Vanilla Island. I'm doing something here I've never done before properly. I'm talking about camping. Let me introduce you to my hosts first.
Yaranata tuporuoch faririd ai team hanai tin hor ai Tahiti.
Yarana, it's a pleasure to receive you at the camping Tahiti from Taha'a. Come stay with us.
Did you know their names literally means a big sunrise and peace, and you will get both of them here. I will put the details below. You can contact them directly. When they found out it was my first time, they took such good care of me. I honestly felt like I was staying with family. And even better, I got this amazing tip, which was the best surprise I had in the whole of French Polynesia. I found out from my host there's a manta point, so I borrowed a cycle and snorkeling gear and headed there right away. Usually manta points are cleaning stations where mantas come and go, but when I flew my drone, look what I found. I honestly could not believe my eyes. It was just off the road. I quickly went in the water and I swam with them. A couple of them were shy and ran away, but the rest of them stayed the whole time. It was such an amazing experience being so close to them. I ended up spending 2 hours with them, and just when I was coming out, I got to see the most beautiful sunset. What an incredible, gorgeous welcome from this island, and it only got better the next day. The next day, I just cycled around, rested a little bit, enjoyed this beautiful place. It is a really wild island with really gorgeous views, and the places are very, very local, so you get a very authentic local experience. I met some incredible fellow travelers at the camping place, and we went for some adventures. The first one is going to be a tour to the motu right across. It was a very relaxed day with a gorgeous beach, nothing except good food, good vibes, and the best surprise, some music from the locals. Most of the motus, including the one we are on, are passed from generation to generation and are owned by the locals, except for the one right across. Well, that's owned by Bill Gates. It was so beautiful, I thought nothing would be able to top that. Well, that proved me wrong the next day. This time we are going on an organized island-wide tour, and the first point is the pearl farm. We got to learn about pearls and pearl farming. I'm not a huge fan of this because I feel like it's animal cruelty, but the next place I totally loved because we are at a vanilla farm. They told us how they pollinate all the flowers by hand and they actually make rum with it. Who doesn't like that now? After some great rum tasting and some views of the Belvedere, we got to my favorite spot of the day. I am talking about a sandbank with sharks, and no, this is not like Bora Bora or other places. Look at the number of sharks here. I was expecting one or two, but look at that. I just did not believe my eyes, and there were more coming every single minute. Wow, this is incredible. At one point, I was surrounded by so many of them. It was such an incredible experience, and honestly, I didn't feel scared at all. Talk about shark-infested waters. Wow, this is just one of the most incredible experiences, and it's just a random stop on a day trip. The rum and the sharks, we are on a proper high, and to maintain that, we are going to a motu. Look how beautiful this place is. The food is equally delicious every single day, and the views. Wow, I spent my lunchtime playing with rays, getting in all these views, swimming, jumping around. Life doesn't get better than this, I swear. I'm really glad you're enjoying the video and getting all the useful information. To continue this work, I need your help. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, because that's how YouTube algorithm promotes my videos. For our last stop, we went snorkeling between the two motus in a channel. And look at this beach and this island. I mean, how is this place so beautiful? And that's what I was thinking up until I got in the water, and wow, the coral is so beautiful, so alive. Look at all these clams. There was so much drama going on underwater. With all this fish and life, it was incredible. Every turn you take, you find something new, and it was amazing. The universe wanted more for me though. So when we got back to Taha'a, we had an incredible sunset with a gorgeous, gorgeous view of Bora Bora. Taha'a just absolutely blew my mind. And I also grabbed this opportunity to take a day trip to the sacred island. I'm talking about Raiatea, and that's where I'm taking you next. Good morning from the sacred island. I am in Raiatea today, and we're spending the day here. So there's a public boat that you can cross over. It's barely 15-20 minutes. And then Tama and I hired these scooters. This is Tama, by the way. And we are going around. Our first stop is this Belvedere that has this amazing view. Let me show you around, and then we'll talk more. By the way, it's called the Sacred Island because the migration of people to New Zealand, the Maori to Hawaii started from here. And this was the island. It is an amazing day trip and one I would highly recommend. Raiatea might not have as gorgeous beaches as other islands, but it is definitely a beautiful island, especially if you want to explore inland. Some of the scenery is really unreal. Just randomly stopping for the waterfalls. This island is amazing. And the further down south you go, it is even more raw and natural. Did you know French Polynesia is bigger in size than Europe? Well, it is quite hard to find the right islands, but that's what I'm here for. Check out my website. I can organize this whole trip for you completely hassle-free. The link is below. What started off as a rather cloudy day ended up being a really nice sunny day by the time we got to the beach for our lunch. And there's one more place we definitely don't want to miss here. I am sitting in the Marae Tapu Taputea. And this is one of the most sacred places in all of the Eastern Polynesian culture. This is where people left to go to other places like, actually, do you know the older name of this place? Hawaii. And yes, people from Hawaii, the Maui, and also the ones that went to New Zealand, the Maori, they all originate from this island. Let me show you around and I'll tell you a little bit more about this place. We have one more stop to cover. By the way, I wanted to go to do the 3 waterfalls hike, but unfortunately we don't have enough time. Also, this is not really a beach island. This is more of a beautiful nature island. To drive around, get a motorcycle, and you definitely need 2 or 3 days here. I'm at our last stop in Raiatea. This is Paroa, the only navigable river in French Polynesia. So you can actually canoe on it. If you want to do that, you need to find someone to take you. There's one other amazing thing here, and that is Taha'a. It's a half flower that only grows on the side of this one mountain on this island only. Part of the mystery of this beautiful island. If you want to check it out, again, it's a tourism office. You need to go with a guide. I wanted to go to the botanical gardens to see it, but sadly they don't have it because it only grows there. I am back in Taha'a, and you might be wondering, if both these islands are so beautiful, why am I telling you to skip Bora Bora and come to Taha'a instead? Well, if you can do both, I would recommend doing both because they have their own plus points, but this is why I recommend Taha'a if you're short on time. Let's start with the prices. Understandably, Bora Bora is a hell lot more expensive than Taha'a, and I'm not saying that because of the camping thing. I'm talking about an average accommodation price. And I'm not talking about accommodation only, I'm talking about transfers, rentals, activities, tours, everything. The second reason is value for money, and that is not great, unfortunately. The infrastructure is pretty bad. I mean, there are lots of potholes, and if it rains, yeah, this is exactly what happens. This is not good at all, and there's a lot of rubbish in a lot of beaches, a lot of places. Again, not so great. In Taha'a, the infrastructure is a lot better. I was cycling everywhere, which was great. The roads are a lot better, and if you rent a bike or a car, it is a lot easier to navigate around. The third reason is over-tourism. Bora Bora is world famous and has paid the price for it. I mean, this is what this island used to look before all the development, and it has been destroyed. Even the coral is dead pretty much everywhere you go, and the fish hang around because you feed them. Compare that to Taha'a, where everything is so pristine, wild and beautiful. You get this sense that you're on a beautiful paradise island away from all the worries, where no one is chasing you around with a card machine for payments. And this is the biggest reason for me. In Bora Bora, you can only go to certain places. There's only one public beach. The rest of it is all private. I mean, the resorts have taken up so many islands and places. You can only go there if you spend money. For other motus, etc., you need to go through activities, through tours, which again cost a lot, and you will have a lot of people around as well. Now compare that to Taha'a, and yes, I did have to take tours and activities to go to motus, but it was a lot cheaper and there were no tourists there. You had this sense of freedom. You had this amazing idea that you're on this beautiful, beautiful island. Snorkeling was amazing. Food was great. The hospitality was incredible. The people I met on this island, from tour guides to my hosts to the locals, everyone was just so amazing. Well, these are my reasons why I suggest you skip Bora Bora and head to Taha'a instead. I really hope I've convinced you, but it's time to move on to the next part of our journey in French Polynesia, one that is all about atolls and diving. Click on the link above and meet me in Rangiroa and Whakarava.